We'll speak about net zero challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a big round of applause. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Well, thank you for inviting me, and we had a celebration event. Marking its 20th year is very monumental. And on behalf of TEPCO, I'm standing in front of this podium, and it is my great honor to stand here as we have 20 years of tradition along with this event. I think it's very delightful to be part of this conference. We have many distinguished guests, including our hosting organizations such as KPX and Elect Times. I've been working in this power industry for over 30 years. Well, actually, this year marks 31st anniversary since I started this career. And we have heard several points, and also we talked about GO15, and that means 15 grid operators. So that's also called very large grid operators. And GO15 also marks its 20th anniversary this year as well. We also heard a lot from CMD, and over the past 30 years in TEPCO, I also took part in VFGO, which is a previous model of GO15, and also I built friendship with Chairman Chung Dong-hee, and he also welcomed me and agreed to build friendship each other, and that's why I respect him, and also I have really great honor, and I feel very pleased to be here because this is very special event, including Chairman Chung Dong-hee, and we're joined by many other distinguished guests, President Chon Ho-chul, and staff members, and many other participants are watching us online through a YouTube channel. Once again, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude and pay respect for all these distinguished guests. We had three presenters before me. What are changing the power market have presented in the three previous presentations. I started my career 30 years ago, and mostly I worked for power system for 20 years, and about 15 years ago, TEPCO had a difficult time because of Fukushima accident. And also, I worked as a co-operator planning for the past 10 years so that I can design a better plan for response. And also, I worked as a manager in the branch office. supported managers in the branch office. So there are a lot of people working at the front line, and also there are people working in the upstream who try to improve the current system. And as an electricity guy, I know that many of you have been devoted your life to this electricity industry for a long time, and I'm very happy to be with you here. So the topic of my presentation is Net Zero Challenge and various potentials are existing in this market, and also there are a lot of talks to achieve net zero. In my opinion, I think it might be better to showcase some case studies from TEPCO and from Japan. Since I have limited amount of time, I will go through some cases, and also we're going to have panel discussion so we can exchange our thoughts in that session as well. You can see the map of Japan here on this slide. We have 10 utility companies, and TEPCO is located at the center. In terms of power generation, we provide 2/3 of electricity across the country. So in Japan, we are one of the biggest utility companies. This is corporate structure of TEPCO. Why am I showing this? Because after Fukushima accident, we made some reshuffling across the organization, so this is kind of symbolic in Japan. I'm working for TEPCO, which is on top, TEPCO Holding Company, and I'm working as a general manager. And we reshuffled the organization in 2016. And TEPCO Holding Company holds 100% shares of these 4 companies below. For example, TEPCO Fuel and Power and TEPCO Power Grid. And I used to be the general manager in TEPCO Power Grid. And the third affiliate is TEPCO Energy Partner. And lastly, TEPCO Renewable Power. After dividing the shares of transmission and distribution businesses, TEPCO Holdings held 100% of shares of these 4 subsidiary companies. And not only TEPCO, but also our 4 affiliates are providing services in this area. So you can see the total workflow in this TEPCO group service area. And TEPCO unveiled new mission in 2021. And this is the mission in TEPCO Group Management Principles. And TEPCO is heavily responsible for Fukushima accident. And while providing stable supply, we're trying to guarantee pleasant quality of life. And we're trying to restore the reliability that were lost during Fukushima accident. So we're making various efforts. And also we're trying to restore the facility damaged by Fukushima accident. By doing so, we're trying to deliver our missions and to focus on transmission and distribution, or T&D in short. We need solid T&D networks, meaning that we're going to solidify the existing T&D networks, and with the network, we can create add values. And we can expand our business areas so that we can contribute to society. That will build further foundation to restore what was lost from Fukushima accident. So that's how we are focusing on T&D businesses. And I can speak a few words about renewable energy. You can see 4 graphs here. Inside TEPCO, we analyzed the outlook for electric power consumption. You may see this number 3,000 or 300 terawatts. And this amount decreased to about 270 terawatts, which is power consumption. Let alone Fukushima accident, other potential accidents from coal-fired power plants may cause decreased supply. So we designed for emergency plan. So we asked consumers to use LED light so that consumers can consume 50% less of electricity. At one point, renewable energy, such as solar powers, is increasing thanks to policy support, but also thanks to energy transition, we were able to decrease consumer consumption of electricity and increase electricity from renewable energy. How do we achieve net zero? These are our plans and clear path forward. So these are the activities we're trying to do to achieve net zero. And what is the basis and what are the thoughts and what are the plan in TEPCO are shown on this slide. Since I don't have much time, I will go through some cases. As you know, Japan is an island country, so compared to continent, you might feel island is a bit remote. So how do we achieve net zero and decarbonization might be in question. But for example, you can take a look at this case. This is Nijima Island. And Shikinejima Island, since the power demand is not very high, we don't need nuclear power plant. Diesel generator creates enough power, and we can have batteries and wind power to meet this demand. And when the wind stops blowing or when the sun went down, we need to have alternative energy sources to achieve net zero. As mentioned earlier, existing diesel generator and batteries can provide backup power. This is in our management system. So we decided to build this in Shikinejima Island and Nijima Island. So this is one of our cases. But from our project, we can realize this goal in a farther area. So we tried to build this equipment and facility in Hahajima Island. I think I need to give you a rundown to geographical overview of Hahajima Island. It belongs to Ogasawara village in Tokyo. And this island is located about 50 kilometers south of Chichijima and 1,000 kilometers south from Tokyo. As an engineer, I visited this place a lot, and there is only one scheduled ship going to this island. Since we have participants joining us online, maybe I cannot give you an accurate number, but as you can see here, it takes about 24 hours to get to this island. Then how do we generate electricity and supply the power to the residents here? It's a small island. We cannot build a small airport. And this area is registered as the World Natural Heritage Site. So it was tricky to build all the facility and equipment while avoiding the World Natural Heritage Site. And when natural disasters happen, we need to also take that into account to avoid any damages to the facility and in the village, while providing the quality of life to the residents. 6 years ago, when I was working for the power grid, as a general manager in the engineering office, this was agenda number 1 in our project. And to compare all the utility bills paid by the residents, the cost for this project didn't really make any profit. We had profit loss. For just 1 kilowatt of electricity for the residents, we had some loss. However, with our profit loss, we were able to provide clean energy. We had 4 diesel generators, and we built 2.2 megawatt PV and also 7,800 kilowatt storage batteries to provide power to the residents, and also with integrated EMS. For 60% of hours per day, we were able to avoid diesel generator use and were able to supply energy with clean sources. We spent almost 10 years for this project. And we thought that the storage battery's life cycle might be 10 years, so I thought at the end of the day we could compensate the losses that we had before. And this was a project we took step by step. Maybe it could be difficult for you to visit here, but the system will be in place next year, July. And I mentioned about EMS system before. With more renewable energy, for example, wind power can be our energy sources, and with PCS or power conditioning system and inertia equipment, we can finally provide clean energy in Hahajima Island. And of course, we may confront various challenges, but this is our project to provide clean energy in remote island. And before ending my presentation, I would like to mention this part. Japan has set up its goal to achieve net zero. So Japanese government has set the installation target of offshore wind farm, 10 gigawatt in 2030 and 30 gigawatts to 45 gigawatts by 2040. And in Hokkaido and Kyushu, you can see there is huge potential because in northern part of Hokkaido, it's very windy. So we can have energy source. So in a windy area, we can build offshore wind farm and generate electricity. And this is our master plan. I'm the member of this master plan across the country. So this shows detailed plan from Hokkaido to Honshu. It shows high voltage, direct current, meaning that all these regions will be interconnected with HVDC. And also, I proposed this plan to the government for better intra-regional connections. After the Fukushima accident, and from there, we have experienced a transition toward renewable energy, and now we're providing electricity from coal-fired power plants to make up for the loss from the nuclear power plants. And there are various challenges, and we are living in the era of microgrid, and we're trying to achieve decarbonization, and we're trying to adopt renewable energy from solar power and wind power. And also, not only TEPCO, but also across the country, but also and from Korea and from all around the globe, we're sharing these cases and perspectives to achieve a sustainable future. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the presentation. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the presentation. And now we're going to have a Q&A session. And if you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand. We will provide the mic for you. Once again, I'd like to ask